Have you ever dreamed of turning an unusual hobby into a million-dollar business? Yeah, me neither. I mean, who really thinks about making a fortune from something as bizarre as snail farming? But life has a funny way of throwing curveballs at you when you least expect it. Not until I lost a bet with my brother-in-law anyway. It all started one lazy Sunday afternoon. We were sitting around talking about our lives, our jobs, and somehow the conversation took a wild turn. My brother-in-law, always the risk-taker, challenged me to turn a profit from snail farming. See, he's one of those high-risk, high-reward Wall Street guys, always got some crazy scheme cooking. He's the kind of person who thrives on adrenaline, always looking for the next big thing. Stocks, real estate, startups, you name it, he's probably dabbled in it. And he's always got this smug look on his face like he knows something you don't. Me? I'm a plumber's son. My dad taught me the value of hard work and the satisfaction of a job well done. I grew up fixing leaks and unclogging drains, not exactly the stuff of high finance. But it was honest work, and it paid the bills. I never had any grand ambitions, just wanted a simple, straightforward life. I like things simple, straightforward. Give me a quiet evening on the porch, a good book, and the sound of crickets in the background, and I'm a happy man. I never felt the need to chase after big dreams or take huge risks. Life was good, and I was content. So, when he bet me I couldn't turn a profit farming snails, I thought, why not? How hard could it be? Snails are slow, right? How much trouble could they cause? Little did I know I was in for a wild ride. I started researching, reading everything I could find about snail farming. It turns out there's a lot more to it than just throwing some snails in a pen and waiting for them to multiply. Well, let's just say my pride took a bigger hit than my wallet. At least at first. The first few weeks were a disaster. The snails were escaping, the farm was a mess. And I was starting to think I'd bitten off more than I could chew, but I couldn't back down. My brother-in-law was watching, and I was determined to prove him wrong. So I rolled up my sleeves, got my hands dirty, and slowly but surely things started to turn around. The snails began to thrive, and I started to see a glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, I could turn this crazy bet into a million-dollar business after all. Now, before I was knee-deep in snail slime, I was stuck in a cubicle pushing paper. Don't get me wrong, it paid the bills, but it wasn't exactly inspiring. I yearned for something more, something real. Little did I know my slimy destiny awaited. That bet was the kick in the pants I needed to ditch the suit and tie and get my hands dirty. Turns out farming's got a lot more in common with plumbing than you'd think. First things first, I needed to learn the ropes. Turns out there's a whole underground, or should I say, underleaf, network of snail farmers out there. I found myself knee-deep in online forums, swapping snail-rearing secrets with folks from all walks of life. Who knew there were so many snail enthusiasts? I even tracked down a grizzled old snail farmer a few states over. He became my mentor, teaching me the delicate art of snail whispering. Now let's talk turkey, or should I say, escargot. Starting any business takes capital, and snail farming's no different. I poured my savings into building a suitable habitat, a climate-controlled greenhouse, organic soil, the works. Let me tell you, those snails eat like kings. Fresh vegetables, calcium supplements, the good stuff. It was an investment, but I believed in my slimy little entrepreneurs. Section 5, Escargot Enemies, Snails versus everything? If you think snail farming's all sunshine and roses, or should I say slime and lettuce, think again. Snails are delicate creatures, susceptible to all sorts of threats. Birds, rodents, even the weather seem to conspire against my slimy protégés. I learned the hard way about pest control, disease prevention, and the importance of a good insurance policy. Turns out, even snails need a good health plan. Section 6, The French Connection, Finding My Market. Here's the thing about snails, they're not exactly everybody's cup of tea. I needed to find my niche, my people. Turns out those people were foodies, specifically French cuisine enthusiasts. I started small, selling my escargot to local restaurants. Word of mouth spread faster than a snail on a sugar rush. Soon, I was supplying high-end restaurants across the state. Turns out, people were willing to pay top dollar for quality escargot. Section 7. So, you want to farm snails? Thinking about joining the wonderful world of snail farming? More power to you. Snail farming, also known as heliciculture, is an intriguing and unique agricultural practice that has been gaining popularity in recent years. It's a venture that requires dedication, knowledge, and a bit of patience, but the rewards can be substantial. It's not for the faint of heart, but it can be incredibly rewarding. Snail farming involves more than just placing snails in a pen and waiting for them to grow. It requires a deep understanding of their life cycle, dietary needs, and environmental preferences. You'll need to create a habitat that mimics their natural surroundings, ensuring they have the right conditions to thrive. First off, do your research. This cannot be stressed enough. Before you even think about purchasing your first batch of snails, immerse yourself in the world of heliculture. Read books, watch videos, and join online forums where experienced snail farmers share their insights and tips. Knowledge is your best tool in this endeavor. Learn everything you can about snail breeds, habitat requirements, and market demand. There are many different species of snails, each with its own set of needs and benefits. Some are better suited for certain climates, while others may have higher market value. Understanding these nuances will help you make informed decisions as you start your farm. Start small, scale gradually, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Snail farming is a hands-on activity. You'll be involved in every aspect, from setting up the habitat to feeding and monitoring the snails. It's a labor of love that requires a commitment to the well-being of your snails, and most importantly, be patient. Snails are not fast creatures, and neither is the process of farming them. It takes time for snails to grow and reach maturity. You'll need to monitor their progress and make adjustments to their environment as needed. Patience is key to ensuring a healthy and productive snail farm. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was a successful snail farm. It's a gradual process that requires persistence and dedication. There will be challenges along the way, but with the right mindset and preparation you can overcome them, and neither was a successful snail farm. With time, effort, and a lot of learning, you can build a thriving snail farm that not only provides a source of income, but also a sense of accomplishment. So roll up your sleeves, get ready to dive into the fascinating world of snail farming, and remember, every great journey begins with a single step. Section 8. Beyond the Buck. The joys of snail farming. Snail farming, you might think, is an unusual choice for a career. But let me tell you, it's been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. Look, I'm not gonna lie, making $1 million from snails was pretty darn sweet. It's not every day you hear about someone striking it rich with these little creatures, but the financial gain is just one part of the story. But you know what's even sweeter? Proving that brother-in-law of mine wrong? He laughed when I first told him about my snail farming idea. He said it was a waste of time. Well, who's laughing now? But beyond the satisfaction of proving him wrong, there's a deeper joy in this journey. But seriously, snail farming's taught me a lot more than how to turn a profit. It's a craft that requires dedication and a deep understanding of nature. You see, snails are delicate creatures. They need the right environment, the right food, and a lot of care. It's not just about throwing them in a pen and waiting for them to grow. It's taught me patience, perseverance, and the importance of respecting even the smallest of creatures. Watching them grow, seeing them thrive, it's a slow process. But in that slowness, there's a lesson in patience, in taking things one step at a time. It's a reminder that not everything in life needs to be rushed. Plus, there's something incredibly satisfying about nurturing life, even if that life leaves a slimy trail wherever it goes. Every day I get to witness the miracle of life in its simplest form. It's a humbling experience. And let's not forget the environmental benefits. Snail farming is sustainable and has a low impact on the environment. It's a way to give back to nature while making a living. So, if you ever find yourself looking for a unique and rewarding venture, consider snail farming. It's more than just a business, it's a way of life. Section 9. Embrace your inner slime ball. So what's the moral of the story? Don't be afraid to embrace the unconventional. You never know where life's gonna take you. One minute you're stuck in a cubicle, the next you're a bona fide snail tycoon. The point is, there's opportunity everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. So go out there, get your hands dirty, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next millionaire slime ball.